Greatness. I heard a conversation recently. It was a clip from a reel where Denzel Washington was talking about seeing Chadwick Boseman and Ryan Coogler and watching them step into their moment. And he described it like watching a relay race. And in the relay race, when the baton is passed, the runner receiving it is already moving, right? And what struck me most about this part, because I was like, "Ooh, go ahead," is when the baton is passed, the previous runner doesn't just stop. They keep running for a while. The momentum continues. So I have not been able to stop thinking about that. And it made me think about leadership, identity, legacy, and of course, it made me think about community. And the quiet question that I think many of us are asking right now, maybe even out loud, is this the season where I'm supposed to run faster? Am I to stop? Am I focused? Am I clear in this season? And I don't believe that we start from the stop. Does that make sense? We don't start from zero. Because if you think about it like this, in a relay race, runners do not begin from stillness. They begin moving before they receive the baton, for example. So many women feel like they're beginning again. And y'all know how I feel about that phrase if you don't stay around, okay? Rather, I don't believe that we're starting over. Because you're not starting from the beginning. You're not starting from zero. What I know about the women who are attracted to this community is that you are continuing. You're carrying lived experience, your wisdom, discernment at a new level. You have spiritual grounding, that there are lessons learned the hard way in your experience. That you have some clarity that's come through challenge. Even internally, the version of you today is receiving the baton from the version of you 2 years ago. She did not waste time, even if there was a moment where you slowed. You may have been building capacity. You are not behind. You are mid-race, sis. There are exchange zones that require us to stretch in every race. Because relay runners must pass the baton within a very specific zone. Now, mind you, gym class was the last time I ran any type of race. Not any type of race, relay, okay. However, when you study and you look at this, and I was really examining it because I go down rabbit holes. When you talk about that relay, there's a particular zone that the relay runner passes the baton in, right? Both runners have to extend fully because the runner receiving the baton, they have to do something pretty remarkable. She is reaching back without fully turning around. She has trust in the transfer from the person passing the baton to her. And many of us are in an exchange zone right now. There are old ways and patterns of being that are no longer comfortable. There is a new invitation on us. There's an invitation that may feel bigger than originally expected. And you have to stretch towards something that maybe you can't fully name yet. I'm raising my hands. I've been there. In some portions of my life, I'm still there, okay? Those exchange zones, that's what we're going to call them right now. Some people want to call them pivots, and we call them exchange zones, okay? We keep it with the metaphor right now. Those exchange zones, they rarely feel comfortable or neat or well packaged and simple. They often feel charged. That sometimes what feels like uncertainty is actually expansion. Because sometimes that clarity does not come before the movement. sometimes the clarity comes because of movement. Hence why the person receiving the baton starts moving before it's in their hands. I'm telling you, there is movement required from you right now before it lands. Whatever it is you're working on, before it lands in your hands, you have to start moving, because the passing of the baton multiplies the impact. That's the part that really got me when I sat there and started thinking about it. That when the baton is passed, the previous runner keeps running. The momentum continues, because the race is never just about one runner. Come on, sis. As a leader, as a tribe builder, as a waymaker, I want you to hear this for a second. Some of us are building things that will outlive us. Some of us are building spaces that help others discover their pace. And so you are required as a leader to understand that legacy is not about disappearing. It's not about moving fast. It's about continuity. You don't lose relevance by raising other leaders. You don't lose your impact. You multiply it. And I believe that that is one of the biggest things that sits with me when I think about how intentional we have to be in running our race. Yes, there are times where you have to pace yourself, because here's the thing. There are different versions of you for the leg of the race that you're in. So there are different versions of you for your life, because those versions of you have very specific legs of the race that you are running, so that your legacy can continue the momentum it was started with. Therefore, many of us get called into this work in a way that will allow us to breathe. And here's what's so big about community for me and tribe building for me. Because I thought about it, I'm like, well, what part do they practice, right? If I'm a runner, if I'm in a relay, right, and it helps a little bit that my nephew runs track, right? And if I'm a runner and I'm in a relay, which part am I practicing? Yes, I believe obviously you have to have conditioning, right? Like your lung capacity, all that stuff matters. You know, the practice matters. Do they practice the passing of the baton? Baby, what I found out is if you want to get to Olympic level, if you want to be the best of the best, you practice the passing of the baton even more than you practice some of the other aspects, because there may be a time where the baton falls, but the more you practice that handoff, the more you increase the capacity and the likelihood that you will successfully pass the baton, so that you can begin what's necessary to rest while the race continues. That only happens in community. Your ability to rest while the race continues only happens in community. So how is we as leaders, how are we practicing the passing of the baton? Okay, I promised myself this was not going to be long, okay? This is an extended version of the little mini one that I did this morning. All right, so here's the thing. This is why I believe so deeply in curating intentional spaces for women right now. Because we are not meant to navigate those exchange zones alone. That there are seasons where being in the right room helps you recognize what you're carrying, what you're releasing, what you're ready to step into next. And that requires community. So I would love for you to join us for the gathering. It is one of those spaces created for exactly what we're naming right now. It's not networking. It's not performative. It's about being present, not just presenting the most polished version of yourself. It's about being in a room with thoughtful women who are also running their leg of the race. Women who are asking real questions about identity, purpose, alignment, leadership, self-mastery, capacity, and next steps. And women who understand that connection is not a luxury right now. It is infrastructure. And if you have been feeling a stretch, if you have been sensing that something is shifting, if you know you are not who you were 2 years ago, but you're still becoming who you were meant to be, you may already be in motion. I'm pretty sure you are, because that's who gets attracted to this space. And sometimes the right room helps you feel that momentum more clearly. And if this resonates, I would love to see you at the gathering. I've dropped the link somewhere below here, and it is designed as an intentional space for those real conversations, for those meaningful connections, the kind of presence that helps you hear yourself think again. So details are available here on the link. Whether you join us or not, I deeply pray that you keep running your leg of the race, knowing that you're not starting over, you're continuing. All right, greatness. Take care of yourself. I love you to pieces and back whole again.